Real talk for a moment. Your Homelab is awesome. You set up all the cool self-hosting stuff like ESXi for virtualization, Docker for containers, you're probably running Pi-hole, maybe running PF or OpenSense, hosting Plex for yourself, friends, and family. I mean, you have got it all and it is great, but it's complex and only you know how it works. This is a risk. The genesis of this video came from a conversation I had with my wife, one that I'm sure many of you Homelabbers can relate to. She came in, sat down next to me, and asked, "How does all of this work?" I was so excited that she was finally interested in my hobby, I couldn't believe she wanted to know how all of this worked. She responded with, "Oh no, I don't really care about how it works. I just want to know what to do in case you die and you're not here to keep it running." Oh, well, how much time do you have? I told her all about how I've built this wonderfully, fully redundant, fault-tolerant, truly enterprise-grade miniature data center that will reliably run for a very long time without failure, provided there's power. But that wasn't the right answer. My wife is right, of course, and she's actually touching on something that's a really serious problem that I think few of us Homelabbers think about. And that is, what is the plan when you're not here for whatever reason and your friends, family, and loved ones are left with the rack of gear that they don't know how to maintain? Join me on my journey, won't you? I started thinking about all the things I'm doing in my Homelab, what the genuinely critical things were, the nice to haves, and that no one needs these when I'm gone things. And here's the list. The first item goes into the critical column, and that's internet access. My Homelab provides the family with access to the internet. If the YouTubes aren't playing and TikToks aren't, TikToking, that's gonna be a bad time. Internet access is crucial. The next item is internet protection, which I'll put into the nice to have column. I'm using a variety of different DNS protection mechanisms to make sure that I block ads, keep the kids safe from adult sites, and generally produce a more pleasurable browsing experience. While I think that's important, it's not critical, so I think DNS protection belongs in the nice to have column. On to item number 3, and that's the storage and protection of personal data. Clearly a critical item and something I think we'll make another video about specifically. I'm talking specifically of files that we all have and need to keep around just cause. Stuff like last year's TurboTax file, maybe family photos, and a backup of your local password manager database. You get the point. This stuff is obviously important and I would consider it critical. Now comes the laundry list of all the other self-hosted stuff that I think is cool but is in no way necessary. I'm just going to rattle some of these off. First off is Plex. Not going to need a Plex server anymore, and for that matter, sonar, radar, LiDAR, Tautuli, or Doppler anymore. Don't need my Grafana, InfluxDB, Telegraph, and Prometheus monitoring infrastructure. That stuff can all go. No Dozzle, or really any of my containers now that I think about it. Now that I look at this list, I guess it's really just internet access and important files. Your list is probably different, but seriously, after spending some time thinking hard about the stuff that I do in my Homelab, its perceived value to me versus the overhead and risk to others, it kind of just comes down to those two very basic things, internet access and storage. So, I'm here to introduce to you a new concept for your Homelab. Introducing the Emergency Break Glass Router. This is the TP-Link AX 1800 Wi-Fi 6 router, aka Archer AX21. Full disclosure, I've never really been a fan of TP-Link products for a variety of reasons, but it's really hard not to be impressed with what you get for $70. This router has Wi-Fi 6 with all of its sweet beamforming goodness. No, it's not going to compete with the enterprise management and capabilities of my Ubiquiti Wi-Fi gear, but it's not meant to either. The whole point here is to have a simple pre-configured device that will be easy for my family to plug in and use in the event that I'm unavailable and the Homelab is not working. This guy here will do the trick for sure, and you don't need to go out and buy something new if you already have an old router lying around. And for those of you out there saying, why don't you just build your own? The answer is simply this. To truly be an emergency break glass solution, it can't be over-engineered. Being simple, all solid state, no fans, no hard disks, and no components to fail internally makes it the right piece of gear for the job. For this to be a success, I wanted to plan out everything. First off, planning the location for the router. I'll be placing mine on top of my Homelab server cabinet. This is the most logical place to keep it since all of my networking terminates in this rack. Next off, color-coded cabling. I am a big believer in color-coding cables based on their role and functionality. For example, using red for the connection to the internet. The color red indicates it's an unprotected WAN and not for the inside, and something like blue will indicate the safety of the LAN, and because blue is pretty. And of course, cable labeling. Colors are great, but words are better. We'll label the cables as well. And finally, documentation.
We'll create a simple printed out how-to for how to do this in the event someone needs to follow it start to finish.
I want to make this as easy as possible and take the guesswork out of it. The combination of color coding and labeling cables makes it easy to know where what goes, and the documentation helps anyone who might be confused about what goes where. If you guys want a review of that router, let us know in the comments. We just configured it to be a simple natting firewall that does DHCP and has the same SSID that the clients in the house already use. That's it, just super simple.
Here's everything all completed and ready, just in case the unthinkable happens. Yeah, it sucks to think about it, but it's something that needed to get done.
I really hope this idea sparks a plan for you and your home lab as well. And while it can be rather depressing to think about, I chose to focus on the part where I got to buy a brand new piece of gear, and I mean, who doesn't love new gear? Anyway, now that you've finished watching this video, check out our playlist over here of other great home lab videos we've done in the past. If you're looking for your next great home lab idea, we can help.